What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So as I promised, we are about to get back into the basics of how to take care of your hair so that it is growing, so that it is healthy, so that it is flourishing. Okay, so if you have a TWA, if you have medium length, even if you have long hair, much longer than mine, but you just feel like something may be off, this is going to be good for you because we're going to start from the very beginning. So first things first, with being natural, you must know your hair texture. That can range anywhere from 1 all the way to 4C. Now this is a chart that was created for us to be able to tell what texture is our hair, what curl pattern is our hair. The second most important thing we need to talk about, which is probably the first important thing, but it's good to also know your texture so that you know what you're working with. But porosity. Say it with me, okay? Porosity. It is important. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an example of how to test your porosity and what it means. I'm not covering products in this session. I'm only covering the things that I need you to go home and find out so that we can move to session 2. Your hair texture can be different textures everywhere, okay? So for instance, I'm gonna come close. Here in the back, my hair is definitely 4C. 4C all around here, and in the middle of my crown, my hair is 4B. It's a looser area, it's a little bit more fine. Sometimes even it takes different products for that to work and match like this one. But that's because I know that there are 2 textures that I'm working with. That is completely normal, that is completely okay. You just need to know these things because when you're styling your hair, you're going to need to know what to put in it because of that pattern, okay? Porosity. Say it with me, okay? Porosity. I want you to take a strand, 1 strand, and we're not gonna hurt ourselves, okay? We're just going to go, we're gonna take some little thin scissors, and we're going to cut it off. Okay, so I cut a strand. So I cut a strand from the middle. I don't know if you can see it, but I cut a strand from the middle of my hair because I know that is 1 texture. Now in the back, I have a different texture, and I'm trying to figure out what porosity is my hair, right? So we're gonna go to the back and we're gonna get 1 strand. 1 strand ain't gonna kill y'all, okay? I'm gonna get 1 strand. I'm gonna try to get it as long as possible, and we're gonna cut. So I said jar, basically anything or any glass that's see-through, because that way you can see what's happening to your hair as you drop it in the water. So I got some purified water. I don't know if it makes a difference, if it needs to be tap or whatever. Just get some water, okay? I just got this because I just seen it laying around. But we're gonna fill that up, okay? So with the glass of water, it's room temperature water. You want to be careful with this because there's mixed reviews about this. They say that if the water is too cold, it can affect the hair strand. If the water is too hot, it can open up the cuticle and affect the hair strand. So I would just prefer getting room temperature water. Hair needs to be as product free as possible. Preferably do this after you've washed and cleansed your hair. Come with me, I'm going to do this with you guys. Alright, so first what we're going to do is we're going to test the strand that I put in the middle of my hair, which was where I said my hair is a little bit different texture. We're going to drop it in the water and we're going to see what it does. So right now my hair is literally sitting on top of the water. You want to test this, make sure it doesn't touch the glass, because if it touches the glass, it's just going to stick to the glass. But basically you want to let it sit for maybe 2 or 3 minutes and just see what happens. And then if you have different textures of hair, of course you can move on to the next texture, or you can even drop it in at the same time. But I'm just going to let this sit for 2 or 3 minutes. So it's been about 2 or 3 minutes, guys, and my hair is still sitting on top of the water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this string out I'm going to drop the other strand in, which was the one that came from the back of my head. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but it is literally sinking. It is moving quickly down to the bottom with no hesitance. So, y'all ever seen those books like Cooking for Dummies, Marketing for Dummies, whatever? Today, it's gonna be Porosity for Dummies, okay? I know you're like, why does she have straws? Okay, these are hair strands, and this is how I'm going to be explaining porosity to you guys, okay? Porosity comes in 3 forms. You have your low, you have your medium, and you have your high. I don't know why I'm going to be using red for high, but it just works out, right? We're going to talk about low porosity first. If your hair is low porosity, think of the opposite. So what has happened is your hair strand that you've pulled from your head has floated at the top of the glass. It didn't go anywhere. It stayed at the top of the glass. What that means is your hair has very minimal ability to take moisture in. So that means your cuticle, instead of having that hole, it looks like this. It's tight, it's closed, it's super, super tight. Nothing is getting in that. No water is coming through that straw, okay? You can't get nothing through that, nothing. So knowing that it is so hard for your low porosity hair that has floated to the top of that cup because it's not taking in any moisture. It's just sitting there, sis. It's staying at the top of the glass. It doesn't want the water. It's not taking the water. It just doesn't want it. It's not thirsty. It's not diving down to drink the ocean. It's sitting there because it feels like it got balls. It's just sitting there. It's just chilling. It doesn't want the water. So textbook version, and I'm going to read this because I don't want to misconstrue you guys. Low porosity hair. Your hair repels water, so it requires more time to get fully saturated. Products are not easily absorbed, and they tend to sit on the hair, causing buildup. So my low porosity sisters, hear me out. Your hair must be, to start, what you want to do is you want to strip your hair clean. Cleaning means use a cleansing shampoo, get all that residue and buildup that's sitting on top of your strand, get it out of the picture. We don't want it. We need to start on clean, crystal clear hair. We don't want that stuff sitting on top of our hair, okay? Now that you know your hair is low porosity and has an inability to absorb water, means you cannot get a spray bottle, sis, and just get a product, slap it on, twist out, and be out. It doesn't work like that. It takes a little bit longer for your hair to be penetrated, so you have to take time and figure out which products are more penetrating for your tight strand. High porosity sisters, God bless you. I'm a high porosity and low porosity in the middle, which is why my hair I have to use different products for whatever, okay? My high porosity sisters, here is your hair strand. So what that means is my hair has sunk all the way down to the bottom. So my hair has the highest ability to absorb water, moisture, whatever products I put in it. So just picture this straw, right? It's a holy moly straw. There's holes all through the straw. Just pretend this straw had holes all through it. So this hair strand is able to sink because it has nothing stopping it in the middle. It's taking all the water and the moisture in because it's holy. So it's absorbing that water and it's just sinking to the bottom, taking all that moisture in, right? Textbook version of high porosity hair. I'm gonna read it. Holes and gaps are in the cuticle. This is your cuticle. Cuticle is your hair strand. Allows moisture to be absorbed easily, but also lost easily. More products are required to lock moisture in. This hair type will frizz in humid weather. So for all my high porosity girls, you know that we go to work looking cute. And then by 5 o'clock, we come out looking a hot frizzy mess, okay? That means that our hair can absorb moisture, but it also gets rid of it quickly. So we're kind of lucky to have hair that absorbs moisture, but at the same time, we lose it so fast. So we need to make sure we're moisturizing our hair daily. Now, hear me out. Moisturizing does not mean putting products on your hair every single day. It does not. Please don't do this. Your hair will be a heavy, greasy mess. just does not mean product every day, because my hair will absorb and lose. It means that you need to find a daily moisturizer or a very light way to moisturize your hair. These things include aloe vera juice mixtures with water, twist out hair refresheners. Refresheners get you to that word high porosity, ladies. Refresheners mean just a light little mist to take that moisture back in and activate that product that was already there. You don't want to keep on putting products on top of high porosity hair. You will be a hot, greasy mess, sis, and we don't want that, okay? Medium or normal hair porosity would be right in the middle of this glass. This means that your hair pretty much, textbook version, let me get to the textbook version. The cuticle layer is loose but has no holes and gaps. So just enough moisture enters without leaving it again. It needs very little maintenance. I'm hurt. I wish I had normal hair porosity, okay? But we don't, and we have to just deal with what we have to deal with. So just to wrap everything up, I only wanted to cover those two things because these are most important. So I'm giving you homework. Your homework is to find out your curl type, what pattern your curl is, and your hair porosity. The next segment, we're going to cover tools. We're going to cover deep conditioners and shampoos for each of your curl pattern. We're going to also talk about when to trim your hair, how to know it's time to trim your hair, and things like that. So please do your homework, figure out your hair type and your hair porosity, and come back because we're going to have more information for each particular type and each particular porosity, okay? Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this back to basics session 1 of section that I don't know how many we're going to do. As many as I can come to find out as far as how much help